fresh out the oven.
Alrighty then. What is cracking, everybody? It's Mega Pile Man here, and welcome to another look at my map video. This time for Payload Race Rush Alpha 3. I got the map tested. Doesn't play exactly how I wanted it to, but people seem to have some fun. Main problems. It's very easy to just push the bomb. So, I've worked on trying to make it a little bit harder to just push the bomb by giving the teams an easier way to defend the last area. You'll notice over here, this is a whole heck of a lot different than it was before. So, this time, if you are on blue, since we're on the blue side, you spawn in, you see, hey, they're pushing the red bomb cart a lot. You can come over this way, pop out the door right there, jump on top of here, jump on top of there, get over so you can see over this, shoot people over here, hop on that fence, hop up here, shoot people over there. This is a whole heck of a lot more of a choke point than it was before, and it's a little bit longer of a rollback zone. So it should make for trying to stop the carts from just rolling on through in about 5 seconds when they get to this point, or should stop this stage from ending so quick. Because I've only got 2 stages, I need the stages to last a little bit longer, so it needs to be a little bit easier to defend. To help defend, you can still build up your sentry over here, but it's a little bit even more sentry friendly from this spot, and you still have the full ammo right there to help you out, but you can also build your sentry up here around this corner. So if you build up here, you can cover the choke in this corner. If you build it up here, you can cover this whole corner that they have to push through, and you can also build up over here and build up over here to try to cover some things. Now, they can go through this door to get over this way. So a spy could go through here, sap your buildings, go over here, sap your buildings, sap your buildings, sap your buildings. And hopefully that will be enough of a counter to this area to make it actually pushable. I'm a little afraid I made it too easy to defend. But we'll see how things go once I get Alpha 3 tested. But this should make defending the last area, the last point, or the final for Stage 1 actually happen, because it just didn't happen in Alpha 2. By the time people popped out of here and got over here, people they didn't explosive jump over this fence. I don't know why, they just didn't. Instead, they had to go that way, and by the time they went this way, they pretty much, the cart was already passed and hit the point. So, this should make it a little bit easier to defend, I hope. If it doesn't, we will once again edit things and change things and see how things go. I don't just want them to be able to go straight from the door, walking straight onto there. Mainly because I feel like that will lead to having to camp this exit in order to be able to push the bomb. And I don't want that. I don't want one team to have to camp the other team in order to complete the objective, because I find that to be bad design. So, I'm hoping that by having these short but somewhat roundabout ways to get to the same area that's not exactly a straight line, but still should give you enough advantage for height advantage for defenders, as well as hopefully having a good enough way to get in there and break it, being with spies or Ubers. There's still the chance to cap it, and you have a chance to defend it. That's the idea. Everything else is pretty much the same outside of that. I did change things up to mid a little bit to add some more health and ammo, and just try to make the geometry a little bit more interesting. So I have this little cubby down here, this little nook that with some health and ammo there. I also had a little bit of detailing with that's the wrong color, with the mine cart things. So, the annoying thing when it comes to the track in Team Fortress 2 is that the models just don't line up all that great. But, even official Valve-made maps, they don't really care how well they line up, as long as all the track is always connected. So, in order to make this line up, it didn't really fit correctly, so I had a little bit sticking out over this way. So it was just like, we'll make it. We'll put like a tunnel over here that'll be blocked up when I detail this. If I keep this area, there'll be a tunnel here that'll be blocked, and we'll have some mine carts that track that'll go that way. We'll see how things go with that. But that should give a little bit more health and ammo to the midsection, where I got feedback, people saying that I did have this health and ammo over here, and this health and ammo up here, but people who are down here is like, where's my health and ammo? And it's like, okay, well, now you have health ammo there, and health ammo here. Might be a little bit too much health and ammo, but we shall see as things progress. That's pretty much it for Stage 1. Let's move on to Stage 2, where there's been quite a few things that have changed. Mainly because my ideas of defending just didn't work on Stage 2. On Stage 1, it worked a little bit, but not super great. I mean, there was a lot of fighting going on in here, which is exactly what I wanted to happen, but once the card got to here, it just meant that they won. But the card kind of just went in this stage didn't work super great. So we changed things to make defending a little bit easier. You can now go out of your spawn. You go this way, so it's much quicker to get into here. Go out here before to build up a sentry to cover this corner, or go up here to build a sentry and cover this whole area, which should be a bit more of a choke point because the cart has to go through here. The cart doesn't go this way, it goes this way. Now, somebody did give me an interesting suggestion of making it so that whoever won the first stage, this particular minecart would be gone, and their cart would go this path instead of going around this path as the advantage. Now, that's an interesting idea. I don't know if that would make the track too short, and it also seems to be very complicated logic-wise. I haven't done that yet, but that is an idea that is on the back burner to try and figure out and see if it'll work, if I can figure it out. But by having this higher area here, as well as making this area even more easier for defending and building sentry guns, I'm hoping that this will actually lead to teams trying to stop the other payload from going through and then exploding. Basically, when I had this upper area before, people just didn't go there because it took too long to get there. The paths that they took to get to here, they went this way only, generally, and this way had a big disadvantage. The reason why this way had a big disadvantage was because it was a short path. So I wanted to try to balance the short path by making it a disadvantaged path. I still have that, but it's not quite as much of a height difference, and you can no longer get up here to shoot dudes who are going through that hallway. So hopefully this will make defending a little bit easier. Also, when the cart gets to here, whoever's cart is in this area, they have a lot of height advantage on defenders who are down here. The main problem with that is everybody was going this way and not going this way, so they were always having issues with the height problems. So I tried to fix that by changing this area and also adding more ways to get up here. You can now get up here not only by explosive jumping or going through this path, or if you're a scout double jumping over here, you can just walk up this board to get to this area. And people were having problems going from, if they were here and they wanted to get here, they had to either go this way, around, down, and up, or go through here and up. So it took a while. I mean, of course, they could also go this way, but they just didn't. For some reason, they just didn't. So it took people a while to actually get here to try to stop the cart. I have the rollback zone as an attempt to try to slow things down. I did extend the rollback zone a tiny little bit, I believe. So hopefully it'll work a little bit better. I might build up like a sniper deck over here at some point if this doesn't work, but I haven't done that yet. I've also changed this from a drop-down to a ramp system so you can get back up here and get back in there. Because of how close this was to the cart, I made it so you couldn't get back in it in the previous version as a way of trying to balance how close it was to the cart, but people just found that obnoxious. So I put a ramp in here. which will hopefully make it a lot less obnoxious. I also changed around a couple height things here, there, and everywhere around this. What else is different? Oh yeah, these pipes. So now you can, if you're here and you want to get here, you can go this way, up here, and then across the pipe. Or if you're here, if you spawn here, and your cart is all the way over there, you can go this way, go over here, and then go across this pipe to get right up to where the cart is, instead of falling down over that way or having to go down this way, which will hopefully make navigating a little bit easier. I don't want it to be too easy for somebody to get from their spawn to where the cart is at the finale, because that will make it too easy to attack. There still needs to be a little bit of way for people to defend. But hopefully there's more areas to defend and to try to stall or stop the cart, the enemy cart, as well as push your own in this version of the map on both Stage 2 and Stage 1, which is over this way, than there was in the previous version of the map. So there you go. That is Payload Race Push Alpha 3. Let me know what you think of the map. And you can leave feedback in the comment section here on YouTube or on the TF2 Maps page. Payload Race is apparently a complicated game mode that is taking me a little while to get used to, since I've never really messed with Payload before this map. But people seem to like the general idea of Rush. It just needs some work. So we're working on ironing out the kinks. When it comes to detailing, I'm thinking of doing a sort of Badlands Badwatery theme from those two maps, from CP Badlands and Payload Badwater. And I was going to say something else theme-wise. Oh, asymmetrical theming. Since Payload Race is a symmetrical game type, I'm thinking of doing some asymmetrical detailing, because asymmetrical detailing is fun. I did asymmetrical detailing on my previous map, and it's extra work, but it seems to be worth it. Something else that I forgot to mention last time is that this map does not use the normal rotational symmetry that you see for Payload Race. Generally, I mean, Hightower, I believe Banana Bay, I know Pipeline, and Nightfall, they all use mirrored symmetry. That means that the map is only mirrored across one axis instead of rotational symmetry, which means that they're mirrored across two axes. Now, rotational symmetry is generally favored over mirrored symmetry in Team Fortress 2 because of how weapons work. Since weapons are on one side, especially for rocket jumping for the soldier, the rocket comes out of the right side of your screen unless you're using the original where it'll come out the middle. And that makes so that one side, if you're using mirrored symmetry, it kind of messes with rocket jumping based on the side that the rocket comes out of, because it comes out of sort of the same side, but because the layouts are different, it doesn't work quite exactly the same on both sides with mirrored. Rotational isn't really seen in Payload Race, at least from official maps, so I'm trying something a little bit different here, which should hopefully help with balance as well. I like rotational symmetry. And it also helps make for better asymmetrical detailing, because of how you aren't stuck with like one central area that's gotta be, or like one central, like Pipeline has a spawn, a central area, and then a spawn, but the central area is a building that has to be the same on both sides because it uses mirrored symmetry. So it has to pretty much be exactly the same on one side as the other, and it's kind of boring. I believe Nightline, that's Nightfall, does that. So that's, I don't know. I don't know if what I'm doing's working here, but that's what I'm doing so far. Of course, this will lead to more testing, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm liking the map so far. People seem to think it's all right. It is a big mess of buildings. I'm finding that a lot of my Team Fortress 2 maps are turning into just a big mess of buildings everywhere. So, we'll get it tested. We'll see how it plays. Thanks for watching. I'm Mega Pie Man. I'll talk to you later.